Madtude Guy 2600 asks, "What's your least favorite genre?" For a while I was kind of thinking it was sport simulators. Well, football managers, if that's a genre, that. But if that's not a genre, it would... I was thinking sports simulators, but not really. There are some that are kind of interesting, like some of the basketball ones and volleyball. And there's some that are kind of interesting, and I guess I kind of have to lump them all together. But the simulator that I would really, really don't like is flight simulators. And I'm not talking like Descent or Privateer or just, Stellar 7 or all sorts of different games like that. And Stellar 7 is really old. So is Descent. There's all sorts of different games like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like actual simulate flight, like either a space shuttle, a helicopter, an airplane, where you have to flip the knobs and pull up the landing gear and tilt the wing. It's just like, oh my god, I don't want... No. Lotus Ruler IQ, Lotus Ruler 27, asks, if you had... I can't tell if that's 1,000,000 or 100,000. You've got 1 0 missing. How will you use it and why? First thing I'd probably do is build a new computer. Second thing I'd do is, well, if it was 100,000, I'd probably put a big old down payment on a new house. If it was 1,000,000, I'd probably buy a house straight out, or maybe 80% of a house, something like that. And then I would probably start investing the remainder into small startup computer companies, probably $10,000 at a time, probably using up $250,000 to $500,000. And I would set it up so that, I would interview each of these startup computer companies, or it could be like a technician company or something like that, and I would say once I had tripled my investment, as a special incentive, once I had tripled my investment, I would be happy to pull out, even if it continued beyond that, so they could repurchase their my investment in them at 3x, and I wouldn't be able to deny it. I wouldn't be able to hold on to those. So I just think that'd be a great way to make money and help out the computer industry in a little way. I believe that computers are where it's going. The next question is, what's the most embarrassing thing that has happened to you? Also, back on the last one, I think it'd be great. Potentially, it'd be a great way to keep my money going. So, anyhow, what's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you? I can't say that on YouTube. I think it'd be a little bit too inappropriate. That's why it's embarrassing. casthewiz asks, when will you answer me on whether or not you will purchase any downloadable content? Probably soon after you ask. casthewiz also asks, and do you ever play multiplayer on any games you own? Yes. Alpha12W asks, do you like FPS games? Yes. Super Mario 8745 asks, if a stranger approached you with a butterfly in his hands, but you can't see it, he asks you if it's dead or alive. If you say alive, he will squash it, and you will be wrong. If you say dead, he'll let it free. You can't be wrong. What do you say? There's two different answers. One of them is the lesser answer, the one that I don't think is the right answer. But obviously, if you say it's alive, at that moment, you're correct. Even if he kills it a moment later, at that moment, you're correct. The next one, the next answer, which is a better answer, is don't answer. Alright, so TheCruePerson asks, do I like the band Motley Crue? No. Pick Mix 2009 asks, do you like old game or new game? Both. Cisco 325 asks, have you ever thought of using mods for Fallout 3? Yes. I love these questions. They're going pretty quick. Bullet for Life 13 asks, would you play Spore Galactic Adventures? If so, is it because of the new features or just because someone told you to? Probably the reason I do it is because I have the urge to play more Spore. And since I've played through the game twice, I'd want new content. And I haven't had the urge to continue playing Spore. Geislerman asks, do you consider yourself popular on YouTube as a video game video maker? Moderately. Actually, even above moderately. If you look at it, 5,000 subs isn't a lot, but there's not that many Let's Players that have an outrageous number of subs. So, I'm doing pretty good compared to other Let's Players, compared to the average. Not so good compared to all YouTube content providers like Nigahiga. By the way, I think Nigahiga's pretty cool. Anyway, I'm glad that he beat Fred. FlanFan1212 asks, would you rather chill with Captain Hook in Neverland, the Cheshire Cat in Wonderland, or Nowhere Man in Nowhereland? I don't know about Nowhereland, so I can't say that one. Wonderland seems kind of freaky, and I kind of figured that the Queen of Hearts would try to kill me every time I went anywhere. As cool as the Cheshire Cat is, I'd probably rather chill with Captain Hook in Neverland, especially with mermaids and stuff. Never grow old. I'd hopefully bring Sidgewing with me. That'd be pretty awesome. God. Sidgewing, will you go to Neverland with me? Roosbang asks, will I ever make a Let's Play in Halo? Possibly. Groudon8, why do you seem to take all of Sidgewing's questions as first priority? The last 9 questions that I had on my list were from Sidgewing, and so I answered them, and they ended up filling out a video quite efficiently. So I don't know why everybody thinks that I'm favoriting her. I do, but that's nothing to do with why she's all in one video. Lottie94, there's a lunchbox. Inside the lunchbox is an apple and a banana and a mini nuclear bomb. Which would be stolen first? I'm guessing the mini nuclear bomb, because I don't think there's such a thing as an apple or a banana. So, since a mini nuclear bomb is possible in a millennia, it's more likely that the mini nuclear bomb will be stolen than the things that don't exist. Mad Dude Guy 2600 asks, what's so good about the 10mm pistol? I'm amazed. This is actually one of those questions that it's true. The 10mm pistol is maybe not the best weapon in Fallout 3, but probably is. And it's for one specific reason that almost nobody understands. Why the 10mm pistol is the best weapon? Because the ammo isn't scarce. That's why. I don't understand why it's so hard to understand. There's actual legitimate reason why the 10mm pistol is the best weapon in Fallout 3. Because the ammo isn't scarce. Okay, moving on. And it doesn't waste ammo either. BDog575 asks, do you like first-person or third-person games? Both? Are we saying prefer? I think there's more first-person games that I like than third-person games, though I do like third-person games. Hardcore Skeletorn asks, what are your thoughts on Canadians? I think everybody from Canada is... No, it's the attic of the United States. No, it's everyone forgets about it now. Anywho, I think that they've got something right on the slightly more socialist nature, even though I don't think you can really consider that socialist. But other than that, what's to think about it? They got lots of pine trees. They might end up getting the breadbasket of America based on global warming. So we might want to start buying some pine tree forest in Canada. I don't know. I guess they've lost a lot of pine trees though with the like 10 years ago, the something or another pest.